Hey, shalom, shalom, mishpacha. Welcome to another edition of the Brit Chadasha Connections. This is Rabbi Yehudah coming at you with installment number 45, Torah portion or Parashah number 45, which is Va'etchanan, which means and I pleaded. We're taking our passage from James chapter 2, verses 14 through 26, and it reads, What does it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith, and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say to them, Depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding you give him not those things which are needful to the body, what does it profit? Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. Yea, a man may say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Well, show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Thou believest that there is one God. Shema Yisrael, right? Thou believest there is one God. Thou dost well. The devils also believe and tremble. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham, our father, justified by works when he offered Isaac upon the altar? Seest thou how faith hath wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect or complete? And the scripture was fulfilled which said, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. Ye see how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith alone. Likewise also Rahab the harlot, justified by works, when she had received the messengers, and had sent them off another way. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. So Yeshua, HaMashiach, Yeshua the Messiah, the living Torah, his brother Yaakov, or James, here in his in the letter which bears his name, sums it up quite well, the grand importance of Torah, the law, God's divine instructions. That to do it, so we can show ourselves faithful. Now, when we get married, we take marriage vows, wedding vows. And we are expected to carry out or fulfill those wedding vows, to not sleep around, to take care of our spouses in sickness and in health, to go through things thick and thin, etc. It's not just some pretty poetic words just so you can sign a legal document. They have weight, they have meaning. And we show our faithfulness to our spouse by keeping those marital vows, by not sleeping around, by, taking care of our spouses. So it's not just words, it's not just faith, as in some kind of ethereal, obscure, floaty thing. Faith is an action word. It's like a verb. It's you have to do something to be faithful. And it's interesting that we call a spouse faithful when they don't commit adultery, when they don't sleep around, when they're devoted to their spouse. We call them faithful. And a lot of times you hear the term thrown around in Catholicism. They call the adherents to Catholicism the faithful. So why do they call them the faithful? Because they're devout Catholics. They keep the Catholic faith and the Catholic doctrine. So likewise, we as Messianic Torah-believing followers of Yeshua, we're called faithful and considered faithful when we not just hear the Torah, but we keep the Torah. We have the Torah within our heart, and out of our heart it springs out and manifests itself into physical action. So the Torah isn't a giant condemning finger to shake at people and say, tisk, tisk, shame on you, you filthy, dirty, rotten sinner. You're guilty and you're going to hell. No. The Torah isn't some scroll to set up in some synagogue or some museum behind bulletproof glass. No, the Torah isn't that thing that Jesus did away with on the cross. No, the Torah is God's divine will for each and every one of our lives today and in the here and now. It is to be done, not to be stared at or even discussed, but it's to be done. It's to be carried out. This is the proof that we have faith and that it is active, living, and vibrant. It is the defining mark that we are God's, that we are his servants, and that we are his holy people. Our living out the Torah every day is the fruits to which people can tell to whom we belong and to whom we serve. The Torah is that proof in the proverbial pudding. So thank you so much for watching. Shabbat Shalom and Shavua Tov. Bye-bye, everybody.